China's Chang'e 6 lunar probe's on its way back to Earth after collecting rock and soil samples from the far side of the moon.
China's lunar probe has landed, carrying samples from an unexplored far side of the moon. The Chang'e 6 mission, which lasted for 53 days.
China's Chang'e 6 mission has reshaped the global discourse on space exploration by successfully retrieving unprecedented samples from the moon's far side, specifically the South Pole Aitken Basin, a region previously untouched in such depth. This mission was not merely a scientific expedition, but a highly strategic maneuver that unveiled rare materials like helium-3 and trace water ice, potentially setting the stage for a transformative shift in global energy and space infrastructure. The implications of this discovery extend far beyond traditional lunar curiosity. They fundamentally challenge long-standing beliefs about the moon's composition, value, and utility in both scientific and geopolitical contexts. The South Pole Aitken Basin, stretching over 2,500 kilometers and reaching depths of more than 8 kilometers, is among the largest impact craters in the solar system. It exposes layers from the moon's lower crust and possibly upper mantle, offering a geological window into planetary history. China's targeted sampling in this region underscores a calculated understanding of the moon's strategic and scientific significance. What differentiates this mission from previous lunar expeditions is the depth and nature of the samples returned. These materials, embedded over billions of years by solar wind and cosmic activity, contain helium-3 in concentrations far surpassing earlier expectations. On Earth, helium-3 is rare, and its promise as a clean nuclear fusion fuel has remained largely theoretical due to limited availability. However, the successful retrieval and confirmation of its abundance on the moon could pave the way for a new era of energy generation, one not bound by the limitations of fossil fuels or the volatility of geopolitical oil dependencies. Furthermore, the presence of usable water ice within the samples introduces possibilities for lunar-based life support systems and fuel production. Hydrogen and oxygen extracted from water can be repurposed into rocket propellant and breathable air, laying the foundation for self-sustaining outposts. These capabilities would significantly reduce the cost and complexity of interplanetary missions by enabling spacecraft refueling directly on the moon. A base at the South Pole equipped with water processing infrastructure and energy harvesting systems would serve as a crucial node for missions deeper into the solar system. In addition to these already groundbreaking finds, the Chang'e 6 mission uncovered metallic oxides and silicate compounds with previously unseen crystalline structures. Such materials could have applications in advanced electronics, structural engineering, and possibly even defense technologies. These exotic minerals, originating from a part of the moon inaccessible to any other nation, amplify China's exclusive access to unique scientific and industrial resources. As these findings undergo analysis in Chinese laboratories, early data hints at properties that could revolutionize several sectors, including radiation shielding, semiconductors, and quantum computing. From a technological standpoint, the mission is equally remarkable. The Chang'e 6 probe utilized next-generation robotics and artificial intelligence to autonomously select and extract samples from geologically significant strata. This level of autonomy demonstrates a significant leap over previous lunar missions by other nations. The robots could analyze soil composition in real time, make decisions based on environmental feedback, and execute precise movements, all without direct human control. This capability is essential for future missions to environments where communication delays or hostile conditions make human intervention impractical. It also represents a paradigm shift in the way humanity might conduct space-based operations moving forward. Not with astronauts in bulky suits, but with intelligent machines optimized for efficiency, durability, and adaptability. China's success highlights a long-term, well-funded, and centralized strategy for space dominance. Over the past 2 decades, it has built a scalable space infrastructure, launching satellite constellations, establishing deep space communication networks, and testing reusable rocket technology. Each milestone has been part of a deliberate progression toward lunar resource exploitation and beyond. The Chang'e 6 mission reflects the maturity of this strategy. With sample return operations now completed, Chinese scientists and engineers are already planning for the deployment of permanent installations on the moon. These include modular energy units, communication nodes, and habitation systems. The goal is not just to return again, but to stay. This permanent infrastructure could serve multiple purposes. Besides scientific research, it would provide logistical and operational momentum for continued missions, transforming the moon into a refueling station, research outpost, and industrial base. The economic and strategic advantages of such a base are manifold. Lunar gravity is roughly 1/6 that of Earth, making it far more cost-effective to launch missions from the moon into deeper space. Components built or assembled on the moon could bypass the need for costly Earth-based launches, giving China a significant head start in establishing an off-Earth manufacturing pipeline. Components like satellites, solar panels, and structural modules could be built with lunar materials and launched into space with minimal fuel. China's foresight in creating this capability has taken other global powers by surprise. The United States, long the leader in space exploration, now finds itself reacting to rather than leading innovation. NASA's Artemis program, focused on returning humans to the moon and eventually establishing a permanent presence, has faced delays, shifting political priorities and budget constraints. In contrast, China's state-directed space agency has executed its plans with precision and efficiency. Their emphasis on robotic missions, which are cheaper, faster, and less politically risky than human missions, has enabled rapid iteration and deployment. While NASA must consider public perception and congressional approval, China benefits from centralized decision-making and consistent policy execution. The implications of China's lunar breakthrough extend into the legal realm. The Outer Space Treaty, signed in 1967, prohibits any nation from claiming sovereignty over celestial bodies. However, it is vague on the issue of resource extraction. As a result, a legal gray area has emerged in which countries may harvest resources so long as they do not claim ownership of the land itself. This ambiguity creates an environment where de facto control through occupation and usage becomes the new norm. By being the first to extract and utilize lunar materials, China sets precedents that may shape future interpretations of international space law. Other nations, in order to participate or compete, may be forced to adapt to the legal and operational frameworks China establishes. This shift in momentum has prompted a reassessment within other spacefaring nations. India, Japan, and the European Space Agency are reconfiguring their lunar missions to respond to China's lead. There is a newfound urgency to match China's capability not only in exploration, but in resource utilization and infrastructure development. The moon, once viewed as a scientific stepping stone to Mars, is now recognized as a strategic hub with economic and defense significance. China's monopoly on actionable data from the moon's far side further consolidates its advantage, giving it unique insight into terrain, mineral deposits, and construction feasibility. Another factor driving concern is the military potential of lunar infrastructure. Although space militarization remains a controversial topic, the strategic implications are impossible to ignore. A base on the moon offers unparalleled visibility over Earth's orbits, enabling advanced surveillance, communication relay, and early warning systems. With China's investments in dual-use technologies, the line between civilian and military applications is increasingly blurred. Autonomous defense systems, hardened habitats, and advanced sensors could provide strategic advantages not only in space, but in controlling information and positioning around Earth. The Chang'e 6 mission's implications also include the development of space-based power systems. With extended periods of sunlight at the lunar South Pole and the discovery of conductive materials, China could install solar farms that generate continuous energy. This power could be used on the moon or beamed wirelessly to satellites or Earth, laying the groundwork for space-based solar power. Long seen as a futuristic fantasy, these capabilities align with China's broader energy strategy and technological ambitions. Already a leader in solar panel production and battery storage, China is in a position to extend its energy dominance beyond Earth's atmosphere. Meanwhile, the lunar samples are catalyzing a new era in scientific discovery. Their composition differs significantly from previous Apollo-era materials. Anomalies in isotopic makeup and mineral distribution are prompting a reevaluation of lunar formation theories. Some scientists speculate that parts of the material may have originated from the moon's mantle, or even from Earth during early impact events. These revelations are opening new windows into planetary formation, solar system evolution, and the processes that shape the Earth-Moon system. The implications extend to exoplanetary science. As researchers compare lunar findings with data from Mars, asteroids, and meteorites, a broader framework for understanding rocky planets is emerging. China's detailed sampling methods, enabled by high-precision instruments and AI-driven analysis, are producing datasets that serve as benchmarks for planetary geology. The moon becomes more than a destination. It transforms into a model for decoding other celestial bodies, from near-Earth asteroids to planets orbiting distant stars. Simultaneously, economic paradigms are being reimagined. The potential to mine and commercialize lunar resources will create entirely new industries. Companies focused on space logistics, orbital manufacturing, and lunar construction are already receiving attention from Chinese investors. Financial models are being adapted to accommodate extraterrestrial markets, including commodities trading based on lunar-derived materials. China's first-mover advantage puts it in a position to regulate access, set pricing standards, and establish commercial norms in this emerging economy. Patent filings, process standardization, and early infrastructure could give it monopolistic leverage similar to that enjoyed by early oil barons. There's also a significant cultural dimension to this achievement. Space has always held symbolic weight, reflecting a nation's ambition and capability. China's lunar success has triggered a wave of national pride. Media outlets, educational institutions, and government campaigns are highlighting this moment as a pinnacle of Chinese excellence. The moon is not just a scientific milestone, it's becoming a cultural icon, embedded in public consciousness as part of China's destiny. This narrative reinforces public support support for space spending, fuels STEM education, and fosters a long-term commitment to space leadership. China's space program is also innovating in bureaucratic and logistical models. Unlike decentralized systems in the West, where private companies compete and operate independently, China is cultivating state-supported private firms tightly integrated into national goals. These companies specialize in everything from satellite construction to lunar transport and are incentivized to collaborate toward unified objectives. This hybrid model, combining government funding with market efficiency, enables rapid development cycles and cohesive execution. As these companies grow, their outputs reinforce national capacity, creating a feedback loop of innovation and deployment. The moon's strategic value is also influencing global military doctrines. While no weapons have been placed in space, the potential for intelligence gathering and space traffic monitoring from a lunar base is considerable. The ability to control high ground observational platforms grants China unparalleled awareness of Earth's orbital activities. In a conflict scenario, this information could offer decisive advantages. Although international norms discourage weaponization, dual-use infrastructure provides latent capability that cannot be ignored by defense strategists worldwide. Timing plays a crucial role in this dynamic. Space development follows exponential progress curves. Once a nation establishes a foothold and builds functional infrastructure, catching up becomes significantly harder. Every satellite launched, every rover deployed, and every processing unit installed creates momentum that enables further advancement. China's head start in lunar infrastructure means it can iterate, optimize, and expand, while others are still conducting feasibility studies. This lead, if sustained, could crystallize into long-term dominance that's difficult to dislodge. In sum, the Chang'e 6 mission represents more than a technical success. It is a declaration of intent, a signal that China is not content with participation but is aiming for preeminence. By securing resources, deploying autonomous systems, establishing infrastructure, and crafting a compelling national narrative, China has redefined what lunar exploration means. It is no longer an academic exercise or symbolic gesture. It is the opening move in a strategic campaign that could shape humanity's future in space for generations to come. Every sample retrieved, every rover deployed, every satellite launched is another brick in a new architecture of civilization, one where China is not just present but leading the way.